Hey there, men. Welcome back to Truck Talk Thursday. I'm glad to be back with you. I really am back here. Actually, you guys don't recognize this because it's a podcast and you don't get to see all the things that go on in between the episodes. But for the last few weeks, I've been forced to drive my wife's minivan. Sorry. Almost threw up there just thinking about how unmanly it was. But I am back now in my truck, and everything is about where I left it. It feels good. It feels good to be back driving my truck. Although when I got in this morning, I turned on the truck, and the radio was set to NPR. Apparently, I gotta get my house in order here. There's some things we just shouldn't do. But anyhow, glad to be back with you guys, and I wanted to talk today about belief and action behind those beliefs. One of the things that I've had to do over the last couple of months is determine where I want to make investments in myself, in our businesses, those kinds of things. And these are always a question of belief. Do I believe that such and such a thing is going to pan out? If we go buy a new building, is it going to, be a good fit for us? Is it going to be a return on investment? If I make an investment, even in the trip to go spread my dad's ashes, is that worth that investment? It costs some money. And there have been several things like that. And even just to get to where we are today, of course, that's had to been a series of investments in terms of what we believe and the action that's going to be behind it. But you can't separate action from belief. They have to be tied together. If you don't have action behind it, you don't really believe it. There's an aspect of, I would say, delusion here, but even people who are truly delusional actually take action. I mean, the people who are like mentally unsound, kind of delusional, they believe that they're in, a certain environment. They believe reality is a certain way. And so they take action there. And, you can't fault them for that. It's like, hey, look, your brain's telling you this is right. You're taking action, and they just have some misfirings or something that doesn't tell them that, reality that really doesn't match up to the way they believe. And a lot of times we think that, we need to have some kind of 100% certainty before we put belief into action. And that's not really the way it works at all. I mean, we're moved by belief towards action a lot of times to see if reality is really going to match up. That's really what it is. If you're making an investment in yourself, you're going to a conference this year, you're going to invest in some personal coaching, you're going to invest into maybe a better gym or whatever the case is. You're taking some online courses. You're doing these types of things because you believe that there's going to be a good outcome, but there's no 100% guarantee of anything, right? There's no 100% certainty. You may hire that coach, life coach, health coach, whatever coach, and it's not a good fit. Certainly buying a gym membership doesn't guarantee anything. Whatever it happens to be, guys, it doesn't matter. The point is that if you believe in yourself enough, then you'll make progress. You'll do the things that match up with that. And so here's the thing. You got to ask yourself, am I taking action on the things that I say I really believe? You want to be a writer. You want to write a book. You want to write a screenplay. You want to quit your job. You want to get into your own side hustle. Maybe you want to switch careers. Are you taking action on those things? Or are you just talking about them? Are you just thinking about them? Because if you kind of believe, quote unquote, they'll one day just happen without action, you're kidding yourself. And that's not actual belief. Even the Bible backs this up. And I'm always surprised about the times when the Bible calls men into action, and women too, but usually men, because guys are usually the figures of history in Scripture. We got guys like Moses, right? They're going to go cross the Red Sea, and God doesn't just say, hey, look, Moses, when you get to the Red Sea, don't worry about it. I'm going to have it parted for you. You guys can just go across. God lets everybody get there and whine and complain and say, well, it would have been better if we had just died in Egypt because there aren't even any graves here to bury us. I mean, like, the old school Jews were like some of the biggest whiners, and as you can imagine, right? I mean, I can go on a tangent here. And yeah, it's like God gives Moses a glimpse of who he's going to have to deal with for the next many, many years. Anyhow, so, but, God's like, hey, look, Moses, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go in front of the sea. You're going to take your rod, your staff in one hand, and you're going to, raise your other hand, and you're going to, have this epic kind of scene. You raise your rod, you raise your hand, and you stretch them out, and as you stretch them out, the sea will part, and that's awesome, right? There's another part in Scripture where they're walking through the desert because they've been a bunch of idiots, and they don't have any water, and this is a problem in the desert, I'm told. And God's like, look, strike your staff on the rock 3 times, the rock's going to crack open and water's going to gush forward. Okay, right? Not like, hey guys, there'll be a magical waterfall and everybody will be able to just take a dip in whenever you want. For some reason, there's always action oriented with belief. Jesus asking the lepers, look, go dip yourself in the water and get cleaned up, right? And Jesus spitting on his hands and making some dirt kind of mud pie type of stuff and rubbing it on the eyes of the blind man and healing him, right? There's action associated with belief. I don't know why God arranges it this way, but it's like he calls us into concert with the belief that we hold. And so there has to be, I believe, some kind of deep-seated, spiritual reason, maybe supernatural reason. There's a connection there where belief is expressed through action. And when we do that, one, we learn either our belief matches up with reality, or we've made reality match up with our belief, or they don't go together. And we've either got to figure out how we're going to innovate there and either hold on to our belief or change it. And that's okay. You can change things. If you believe that you want to be a writer and that was your childhood dream, and as it turns out you really suck at writing at 35 years old and you've been trying and trying and trying, it might be time to pursue something else for a while. Not that has to completely go away, but you can't call yourself a writer, right? You can't live in that sort of delusional mindset. You can't call yourself a successful husband, a successful father, just because you're better than your dad was, because you do X, Y, and Z well, but you fail in 20 other areas. Belief has to match reality, and the only way that we know that it does is through action. So here's the question, guys: what kind of action are you going to take this week? What are you going to do this week, even today, that's going to help your belief match up with your reality? And, this may be something like you're trying to lose weight, which typically somebody here listening to this podcast is. You're trying to gain muscles, get strong, which typically somebody listening to this podcast is. And I think most guys are kind of in that, trying to do both at the same time or want to do a good bit of both. Whatever the case is, guys, how are you going to make your belief of who you want to be match up with the reality of who you are? You got to put action there. So come up with a plan. And I'd love to hear from you on this, guys, as I always do. We've got a great group of guys over at the Wolf and Iron community. That's our online Facebook group. It's free for you guys. And it's one of the best groups of men that's out there. I'm consistently surprised by just the level of communication, the level of questions, the camaraderie out there. And you can get there by going to wolfandiron.com/the group. I almost forgot what the URL was. It's been so long since I've done this. That's /the group. Look, don't put it off. I know a lot of you guys, you're doing something else. This is a call to action on, the internet, and you're just, doing your phone thing, and you're working out, you're going to work, whatever the case is. But don't put it off. Look, wolfandiron.com /the group. You're going to be a better man because of it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.